All right, let's do this. This is like the last classwork for chapter 6, and we'll finish this up, and hopefully after we finish this, we can get on and finish up for the semester. All right, sine of theta is equal to 1/2, and they want the answers between 0 and 360. If we want them between 0 and 360, remember sine is positive in two quadrants, here and here. And when is sine equal to 1/2? That is 30 degrees. So this is 30 degrees, and over here we have the reference of 30. So this angle is actually 30. This angle is 180 minus 30, which is 150. And that's the two angles that give you the solution. So theta is equal to 30 degrees and 150. That's problem number 1. Problem number 2, let's see if I can make this a little bigger in here, have room to work. All right, we want to solve this. So we would say 2 cosine theta, I'm going to move the 1, make it a -1. Then I would divide by 2, and that gives me a -1/2. Okay, so I find the two angles where cosine is equal to -1/2. And if you remember, a cosine is 1/2, it's 60. So we have a reference of 60. But we would have a 60-degree angle here and here, because that's where cosine is negative. Cosine is negative in the second and third. This angle right here, if I say 180 minus 60, I'm going to get 120. 180 plus 60 is 240. So those are the two angles that make this true. So 120 degrees and 240 degrees. So that would be 2/3, if you were talking radians, 2/3 pi and 4/3 pi. Okay, right, let's see if we let's put this on the second page here, and then make space for it. All right, I've got to make 2 revolutions. Theta is between 0 and 360, but 2 theta is between 0 and 270, 720, 2 full revolutions around. Well, where is tangent 1? Tangent is positive here and here. And tangent is 1 at 45 degrees, opposite over adjacent the same. And if this is 45 degrees, we would take and we would say 180 plus 45. What is 180 plus 45? I believe that's 225. So that angle's 225 and that one's 45. 2 theta is equal to 45 and 225. That's the first revolution. In the second revolution, we add 360. So just with a calculator, I'm going to say 45 plus 360, and I'm going to get 405. And then I'm going to take 225, and I'm going to add 360 to it, and I'm going to get 585. But these are what 2 theta equals. We want 1 theta. So to get theta by itself, I must divide by 2. So 45 divided by 2 is 22.5. And 225 divided by 2 is 112.5. 405 divided by 2 is 202.5. And 112.5 divided by 2, whatever I did, that couldn't be right. Oh, I'm sorry. Right here, we've got 22.5, 112.5, 202. I need to divide 585 by 2. And if I did this correct, it's 292.5. And each one of these are degrees. And notice that they're all less than 360. Okay. Now, this last problem here is simplification to one term with no negative thetas involved. And it says show every step. Well, all right. Well, first of all, we need to know what sine of negative theta is. Sine of negative theta is negative sine. Cosine of negative theta is just cosine. So secant of negative theta is secant. So this is the first thing that I would do. You have a negative in the problem, and then sine of negative theta is negative sine theta. Secant of negative theta is simply secant theta. Okay, a negative times a negative is a positive. And we only want one term. So I need to change secant to 1 over cosine. And then when I multiply these, I'm going to get sine theta over cosine theta. And sine over cosine is equal to tangent. Okay, that completes this exercise, and I hope that gives you a little more background.